Welcome to Programming with Python course again. In week 6, we learned how to write a user-defined function using def keyword. Today, we are going to learn another way of writing function using a keyword lambda. As per the name lambda function mentioned, this is a small function. Right? Today, we will learn what is lambda function, how to write this function, and how to combine this function with other commonly used functions. And if there's any conditional statement, then we use a lambda function. We will find out now. Lambda function, as the name mentioned, lambda is a small and quick, easy way of writing a function at the cost of readability. So we shouldn't use lambda function for a complicated process, and this is mainly for the simple process. How can we write a lambda function? This is a format. Syntax. All right. So you start with the keyword lambda and then followed by your arguments, full colon, and expression. Let's start with examples. In this example, the yellow box is given a function, the function that you are familiar with. All right. So we use a keyword def to define a function value square. Here, our argument is value, and we return the value star 2, which is value squared. All right. So how can we write in the lambda function? Simple, you start with the keyword lambda, followed by your input argument, which is a value here, and then followed by full colon. Right? Then what is your expression? Your return statement, right? What is your expression? So you are going to return this value star 2. So you just write lambda value is 2, value star 2. This gives you the same function like the previous one, right? But in a simple line, in a single line. Now let's see another example. In this example, echo works, right? We define a function. The yellow brown is a typical definition of function, right? So echo is a function we write using the def. Here we have two input arguments, times and name. And then our statement, our expression is we multiply this times and name. All right, so we multiply this name, we echo this name for given times. Right? So same way we can use a lambda, but here because you have two arguments, you put the comma in between. Right? Lambda echo comma word, full colons, and then what you want to achieve, your expression is echo time word. That's all. Right? You will get the same result like your previous definition. Sound easy, right? So it's quite exciting how we want to use a lambda function, but be careful, like what I mentioned, in a complicated process, it make your program lambda function complex, right? And then you will lose readability. It is very hard for another programmer or user to understand your code. But this kind of simple process is okay. You can use a lambda function, right? So where do we usually use a lambda function? We combine with other functions. For example, here, we combine map and lambda. Right? Remember, in our earlier lesson, we tried to put all the names inside the list, inside the given list, to convert it to uppercase, right? So in that case, we use a map, MAP map, right? In that string, upper is a function, default function given, being function, and then we put our list inside, all right? So here, instead of using the string upper, what we want to achieve is every name we want to shout, right? We want to shout it. So every name we want to put the exclamation mark. We want to follow by the exclamation mark, right? So we have to write a simple function ourselves, right? We want to write the simple function. How do we want to write? We just want to combine this name with the exclamation. So we can use a simple lambda function. Lambda name is to name plus exclamation. All right. Instead of using the string dot upper, we use a shout name, our own lambda function here, and then we write it. Instead of lambda function, can we use our usual def function? Definitely can. All right. Def will give you another 2 or 3 lines. Lambda only 1 line. That's the only difference. Okay. Now look at another example. Here, right. So look at another way of writing, not another example, another way of writing. Instead of putting a function outside, we can even write here directly inside the map function. All right. So first argument, we put our own function. We just put the lambda name is to num plus exclamation mark. Definitely, we cannot use this usual common function def, right? We cannot use this def here because it will complex the program. So, but with the lambda, it's still readable and then it still can understand. All right. So this is how we can. So now let's look at another example, how I can combine lambda with the filter function. Right. This time what we want to do is, from the given name list, we want to extract the name only if the number of characters in the name is more than 5. So if you look at the name list, we can see here, Richard is the only name which fulfills the requirement. Right. So instead of using the map or looping or this, we can use a filter here. So filter has two input, right? Two arguments. The first argument is a function, and second argument is a list that you want to filter out, right? So filter function will filter according to the function given in the first argument on the name list. So in our exercise, our first argument is a filter function, which is we return using the lambda, right? Lambda name is to land on names greater than 5. So this filter will be applied on our names, and then we will provide these names only if the number of characters in the name, alphabet in the name is more than 5. All right, okay. So now you have understand how to combine lambda with map or filter. Okay, this is one of the advantages of lambda function, because when you use the function inside your map or filter, right? It makes the program a bit simpler using the lambda function. Okay, now let's see whether we can use lambda function when we have a conditional statement. Of course, we still can use it. Okay, instead of the filter function here, we are going to use a lambda only. All right, see how we can do. So the format is here, lambda, and then followed by the name, all right, followed by the name, and then full colon, and then I put the condition here. First step with the if statement, right? Name dot upper, and then followed by if condition, if length of name is greater than 5. So if the number or alphabet in the name is more than 5, if this condition is true, we will perform the if statement, which is name dot upper. So now we know if the number of alphabet in the name is more than 5, we will convert that into a uppercase. If this name doesn't have more than 5 alphabets, we are going to change them into the lowercase. So we have to follow the case statements, R statements, right, followed by the R statement. Ask keyword followed by the R statement. Okay, now here. After this len condition function is defined, we can use a map, right? We can use a map, and then this condition function will be mapping to the name list that you have previously. So you can see that only the Richard has been changed to uppercase, and the rest of names are all changed to lowercase. Right? So here you can start to see that when you have the conditional statement, lambda function is a bit confusing, right? If you have more than one if-else condition, so that means you have more than 2 branches, definitely your lambda is not the right function to use. You should use your def keyword. All right. Now let's do some exercise. Okay. So we will write a lambda function that takes an integer year and return index. Right. Here we will use a library module called datetime. So first of all, you have to import datetime module. Right? So another datetime module, we have the datetime.now.year. We will extract the current year. All right. Then from the current year, we will minus out the given year to calculate the age value. So age calculator 1981 will give you 41, right? Because today is 2022. Okay, now let's move on to the next lambda function. This time, lambda function will take a float cost, so only one argument, and then you will return a price by adding 10% to the cost. So you will add the cost time 0.1 to the original cost. This will provide you the price, right? So if you give 150 cost, then the price will be 165. Okay. Now let's move on to another Lambda exercise. This time, the number of arguments are 2, name and domain, right? What you have to do is you have to combine these two together and return an email address. So we know that email address, for the email address format, you have to start with the name followed by asterisk key plus domain and then .com, right? So like before, after the Lambda keyword, you will put your two input arguments, which are name and domain, full colon, and then your expression, what you want to achieve. Okay, now let's take out this name list, right? The previous exercise. So this time what we want to do is we want to convert each name into an email address. The domain is a Google, so you can just take it as a Gmail, right? So this exercise, I want you to pause our program here, the video here, and then you go and write the URL code before checking the answers. Okay, now let's look at the solution. All right. Here, for the image generator, I just need to use a Lambda, like in your exercise 3, or exercise 2, sorry. All right. Then after that, you do that nothing. This Lambda function will map to each name in your name list. Then this will generate you a email address for each person in the given list. These are the very useful example, especially for the data scientists and data analysts. You will learn more in your later lessons. That's all for today. Thank you very much.